Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're hearing me, both those here in the room as well as those online. All right, so welcome to this, our induction and welcome ceremony for new graduate students in the Faculty of Humanities and Education here at the University of the West Indies, Mona. It's wonderful to see those of you who are here physically in the room, and I know that we also have a number of persons joining online. So welcome, everyone. I am Therese Ferguson Murray, the Deputy Dean for Postgraduate Matters in the faculty, and I will be guiding you through the ceremony today. Just to indicate that there will be two segments to the program. The first is going to feature greetings and remarks from various individuals and entities who are looking forward to supporting you as you embark on your graduate journey and to seeing your successful completion. And I am proclaiming that it will be a successful completion. The second segment will follow with your department-specific academic advisement sessions. So the theme of the graduate orientation is Rooted, Ready, Rising. And this is in keeping with the UWI 75th anniversary theme. Now, this theme has a particular meaning for the UWI, but it can also have a meaning for us here in the faculty. So let's start with Rooted. As you embark on your studies, we want you to feel rooted. Rooted within the faculty and within your departments, strong and firmly fixed as a member of the Faculty of Humanities and Education. We want you to feel ready to take on your program. The campus orientation program, which I hope and trust that many of you, if not all of you, viewed yesterday, this faculty induction and welcome ceremony, the departmental advising sessions have all been developed with this in mind so that you know what to expect, what your next steps are with regard to issues such as registration, as well as the various entities and resources in place to support you. We also want you to feel ready to continue contributing to the advancement of your home countries, those of you here in Jamaica, those of you from other parts of the region and perhaps beyond, through the different knowledge, skills, and competencies that you will gain from your programs. And we want you to feel as if you are rising, soaring to the heights of your personal and professional development goals, rising above any challenges that you might encounter, and rising even beyond your own personal expectations. So with those general remarks and greeting from myself in mind, I now want to turn over to those who will also be welcoming you. So I now invite the Dean of the faculty, Professor Dean Cohenberg, to come and bring you her greetings. Let's welcome the Dean.
Thank you, Deputy Dean Dr. Therese Ferguson Murray, for that introduction, and good afternoon to everyone who has joined us for postgraduate orientation here and online, students, heads of department, deputy deans and other members of academic staff, administrative staff, and technical support staff. It is my great pleasure to be here and to help mark the start of a new academic year. Dr. Murray spoke briefly about the motto, Rooted, Ready, and Rising. Rooted, this institution is 75 years old and rooted in the region. This faculty, the Faculty of Humanities and Education, has a history going back to the very beginnings of the university. As new postgraduate students, then, you are about to join a faculty which over more than 7 decades has graduated several thousand postgraduate students in programs across the various disciplines of the humanities and education. Our postgraduate programs form an integral part of the work we do to achieve the faculty's mission to advance learning, create knowledge, and foster innovation for the positive transformation of the Caribbean and the wider world. It is this mission which you are now joining as postgraduate students. We pursue this mission through teaching, outreach, and of course, through our research. The education that we offer at the postgraduate level both complements and is born from the research that we do in the faculty. It is the research-driven education that we offer which differentiates us from other tertiary level institutions in the region. The research done in this faculty allows us not only to engage with scholars and professionals globally, but importantly, to contribute Caribbean findings and make a Caribbean voice heard on the global stage. That we have succeeded and are succeeded in doing so is evidenced in our world ranking among universities. The UWI, remember, it's the #1 ranked Caribbean university, positioned within the top 1% in Latin America and placed in the top 4% of over 28,000 universities in the world. So as we welcome you here as postgraduate students, we hope also that you will join us on the global stage, initially as observers, then as participants, and finally on equal footing as the new generation of Caribbean scholars, supporting transformational change at home and making Caribbean voices heard in academia around the world. When I attended campus postgraduate orientation yesterday, I heard Professor Marcia Roy, who is sitting right here, and whom you know as the director of the Mona Office of Graduate Studies and Research, speak to her own journey, leading to the decision to pursue a doctorate, and she said that it had been the best decision of her life. Hearing that made me think a little bit about why that is so. In my own case too, the decision to pursue research in my field of specialization and to pursue eventually a PhD was a life-changing decision. It took me to different parts of the world for my research. It made me a member of global communities of researchers who meet regularly to exchange the insights derived from their work and learn from each other. It made me a member of this university community where I've been able to educate so many students, where I have been able to contribute knowledge in areas that I'm passionate about. In sum, it has allowed me to have a life that I consider rewarding and fulfilling. So whether you are here to pursue a professional postgraduate degree, or a taught degree, or a research degree, it is my hope that the path that you are about to embark upon will allow you to similarly achieve your personal goals, your academic goals, and your professional goals, and that it will transform your life in all the good ways. Let me close by wishing you a great year and a great future in academia.
Thank you so much, Dean Cohenberg. And I believe that all of you, by accepting your offer of entry into your programs, have implicitly accepted her invitation to be those observers, participants, and then equal partners on that global stage. So we now at this time turn and invite Professor Marcia Roy, Director of the Office of Graduate Studies and Research, to bring her remarks. Those of you who watched the orientation yesterday would have already caught a glimpse of her, and you would have seen how she is supportive to her staff. I saw her get on stage during that rendition, so we know that she will be equally supportive to the students. Professor Roy?
I am not dancing this evening again. Thank you very much. So Sylvia would have said that really, and I've thought about it a little bit, that my decision to do a PhD probably was one of the best decisions of my life, because that is what has supported me and my family for many years. But when I'm thinking about it, this institution have been in existence for 75 years, and I've been here for 35 of those 75 years. Yeah, I know I look barely 35, but really my mom was born in 1948, and the egg that formed me is ready 20 weeks after gestation. So the egg that formed me really is 75 years also. I'm just saying, okay, look good for 75. So yeah, I bought her a cup that said 1948 and the University of the West Indies. That's what she drinks her coffee from. But really, this institution has changed my life, and I think many of us who come through those doors, it can do the same. I listened to Dr. Tomlin Paul yesterday about his story, and it made me think how much time we spend with each other and how little we really know each other sometimes. For the graduate students that are starting, congratulations. You know that you're in the #1 university in the Caribbean, and we're in the top 1.5% globally. And I know this place can change your life. I challenge you to try something new. Just get out of your comfort zone every now and again and try something new. Denise Eldermeyer Shearer was one of my academic mothers, and every day when I sit in her chair, you know, I expect somebody's going to call me and say, no, you can't do this job. But the other day, I had to call Denise about one of her students, and I didn't want to do it, and she called me. I had to listen and say, no, we're not going to do that. And it was very intimidating, but she said, you're doing okay, man. Just keep doing it. So come out of your comfort zone every now and again and try something. Try something new, and you would be surprised that it might work. The other thing that I have thought about, which is very important to me, my son Jamie is coming to UWI. He's going to start Monday morning. And that little kid has been coming to this campus since he was 6 years old, every evening in my office. So it's kind of surreal to see him mature and come for actual classes. And he's chaperoning everybody around because he knows this place inside out. And Jesse is the first one, and Jesse is doing his MSc. So you can understand how much this place has impacted my life and now the life of my children. So I hope that one day you'll be able to tell a story like that. The other thing I want to say, if you have any issues, both as graduate students and staff, most people have my number. I prefer to do a conversation more than email back and forth, right, Livingston? Just send me a message, man. We get so much things solved like that. I'm not into the back and forth and the CC everybody, and I want a solution now. So you can always call me. For the graduate students, if you have an issue, you take it to your graduate coordinator. If it's not solved within a week, then you take it to your associate dean. If your associate dean not solving it, then hey, you can come to me. That means it's going to take 3 weeks before we come up with a solution, but Dr. Stanberry said our responsibility is to get these students out as fast as possible. So that's what we want to do. Nothing fashionable about doing a PhD for a long time. So I invite you, if you have any issues, please just reach out to us and we will try to solve it. In the Office of Graduate Studies and Research, we are trying to automate many of the processes that we have so we can respond to you in real time. So that might help in our response. We're a small team, but the more graduates we have, the more recruits we have, and the more graduates we have, then that's how we measure a lot of time our successes, and whatever comes between, except the teaching, we will try and help to resolve those. I have several orientations that I have to go to, so I'm going to sit and listen for a while. So when you see me run out, I'm heading to another one, and I have a third, and I have a fourth. So I wish you all the best. If you need any help, I'm here to do that. If we solve the problems of our students or whatever issues our students have and they graduate, then that makes all of us successful and our institution successful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Professor Roy. All right, so as we move along, you have met the Dean, you have met Professor Roy. We're now going to invite you to meet your various departmental heads and directors. This will be done via a special video message, but a number of them are in the room. So as the messages are played, look out for them in the room. Give them a wave. If you're online, you can do a shout out in the chat. So let's hear from our directors and our heads.
And welcome to the Faculty of Humanities and Education at the University of the West Indies, Mona. My name is Rachel Mosley-Wood and I'm head of the Department of Literatures in English. This department offers 3 graduate programs, the MA in Literatures in English, the PhD and the MPhil. Our department offers a number of courses that really allow you to engage with the literature and culture of the Caribbean and help you to develop your critical abilities in terms of reading text and also in terms of reading and understanding cultural patterns and cultural expressions. I hope that you have a really exciting time here at the university and that you give your studies all the attention that it deserves, but also that you take time to enjoy and take advantage of all the activities that the campus has to offer.
My name is Dr. Dave Goss. I'm a senior lecturer in the Institute of Caribbean Studies and also the new director of the ICS. It is my privilege to welcome you as new graduate students to the ICS. In the ICS, you know that we focus on the cultural industries and the importance of becoming a cultural intellectual. Our goal is to ensure that you maximize on the opportunities. Today, many societies are recognizing the importance of the cultural industries to their socio-economic development. And as such, you as our graduates, you become pioneers in this very exciting field of interdisciplinary studies and also in cultural studies. We wish you all the very best. We are here to support you, and we know that you become our proud graduates because you will be learning to apply what you have learned in cultural studies to the greater cultural realities. Take care and God bless.
Hello everyone. As head of Modern Languages and Literatures Department, I want to welcome all of you, especially the new and returning students who have chosen our department to pursue their postgraduate studies, whether it is an MA, an MPhil, or PhD. Congratulations on your previous achievements and for coming this far. This year, the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures offers an online MA program in translation, which allows students international visibility as well as intercultural competence to interact in our global multilingual society. Also an interdisciplinary MA program in languages, literatures, and film studies that expand on your theoretical background, develops critical thinking and awareness on social, cultural, and historical Latin American themes. We also provide supervision to our MPhil and PhD students who are pursuing their academic interests. We encourage you to get involved in courses and actively participate in departmental and faculty activities and research seminars. I would like to emphasize the need for peer collaboration. Share your knowledge, share your findings, share your research. Give each other feedback. Do not isolate yourselves, because it's by sharing you grow as an academic, and do not limit yourselves to the university. Participate also in international postgraduate conferences and seek out collaborations with postgraduate students who share similar interests across the globe. Finally, use all our communication channels. Visit our offices. The administrative and academic staff are willing to help and offer you support to succeed. We look forward to working with you, and I wish you a very successful academic year.
Hello everyone. Welcome to all new graduate students in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. As the Director of CARMAC, I extend a very special welcome to the new graduate students who will be studying with us at the Caribbean School of Media and Communication, doing their master's degree in Communication Studies, Communication for Social and Behavior Change, and Integrated Marketing Communication. We also welcome our MPhil and PhD students. In this upcoming academic year, we hope that you'll get involved in your various courses and participate in research collaborations with your classmates as well as your faculty members. We look forward to working with you and wish for you a very successful academic year. Once again, welcome.
Good day. Welcome to the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, and in particular, the Department of Library and Information Studies, otherwise known as the DLIS, in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. As a graduate student in the DLIS, you are embarking on an exciting journey filled with endless possibilities and opportunities. The department boasts a long-standing tradition of excellence. During your time here, you will interact with a dedicated team of experienced faculty members. We pride ourselves in providing a stimulating learning environment that promotes critical thinking, collaboration, and innovation. Beyond the classroom, the department offers numerous professional development opportunities. Internships and networking events are also a part of what we do. These all allow you to gain practical experience and to forge valuable connections within the profession. We encourage you to actively engage in these activities to enhance your academic journey and to prepare for a successful career. As you embark on this new chapter in your life, we assure you that our departmental staff and faculty will be here to support and guide you every step of the way. We are committed to your success and are excited to witness your growth and achievements throughout your time at the University of the West Indies. I am Dr. Rosemary Heath, head of the DLIS. Once again, we extend a warm welcome to you. We look forward to meeting you and to sharing in a rewarding academic journey together.
Graduate students, Congratulations on acquiring the qualifications and demonstrating the readiness for graduate work. And thank you for choosing this faculty and our multidisciplinary Department of Language, Linguistics and Philosophy, DLLP, as a space in which to pursue your studies. If your interest is in linguistics or English language, we will stimulate you with program concentrations in areas such as language acquisition, phonology, sign language interpreting, sociolinguistics, syntax, and approaches to teaching academic, professional, or technical writing in English. If you are interested in principles underpinning cultural norms and epistemology, ethics and values, or human existence and experience, our programs in philosophy are waiting for you. We also offer a wide array of electives that are open to graduate students in other departments. In the DLLP, you will have opportunities to be innovative as you engage in significant original research and contribute to generation of new knowledge that will be significant for you, for the university, and for regional integration and development. Our highly qualified and experienced lecturers and supervisors will inspire you and guide you gradually to academic and professional independence and stand with you through to successful completion of your programs. And our administrative staff in the department office will be ready to offer support when you call, email, or visit. You will also find that participating in our clubs and graduate level activities will help you to develop to your fullest potential. Students, welcome. Have a great academic year and a fulfilling graduate program.
I'm Julian Cresser, head of the Department of History and Archaeology, and I'd like to extend a welcome to all of our new graduate students. You will be doing the MA in Public History and Caribbean Heritage, a new program that has been redesigned to meet the needs of today's industry professionals. It is an exciting program that will expose you to cultural resource management in new and exciting ways, including the production of digital content. We have a team of excited lecturers who are eagerly awaiting you, and we have a very supportive staff in the department office who will do their best to help you to settle in. So we look forward to seeing you.
I wish to welcome all students to the University of the West Indies, the Faculty of Humanities and Education, and a very special welcome to you all who have chosen to continue your studies with us in the School of Education for this academic year. I want to thank you for choosing UWI Mona, because I know you have options and you could be anywhere else, but you have chosen to come to us. I guarantee you that you will not be disappointed. Let me assure you that once you're in the School of Education, you are in very safe hands. So what do you expect from us here in the school? Well, we offer a number of programs at the graduate level. These are usually done by trained teachers who are interested in professional development. The MA degree is offered in a number of specializations. These include the traditional secondary subjects such as the teaching of mathematics, language education, science, social studies, geography, history, as well as other disciplines that are related, such as curriculum and instruction, information technology, educational measurement, and teacher education. We are also always constantly improving our offering. And some of our more recent programs include the MEd in Sustainable Development and Peace Studies, Educational Planning and Policy, Educational Leadership and Management, Early Childhood Development, as well as Inclusive and Special Education. And these are among some of our newer programs. Now, those programs will be for our trained teachers, but we also have one program for pre-trained teachers, and that's for persons who are interested in becoming certified as teachers. And that's our Master of Arts in Teaching that we offer to graduate students who are interested in becoming professionally certified. Along with our master's level programs, we also offer the MPhil and PhD degrees in several specializations. Once again, let me welcome you to the School of Education. The very able, competent, and professional academic, administrative, and support staff of the school stand ready to help you to realize those dreams that you have, which are connected to completing your studies here. I wish you a safe, productive, and rewarding 2 years with us as you join us in the School of Education. Walk good.
Okay. So I don't know about you, but I feel welcome. How many of you in here feel welcome into your departments? Okay, I'm seeing the hands. I'm seeing some nodding heads. Good. And I hope those of you online are feeling welcome also. So at this point, we're going to be moving to some associations, some entities and departments on campus who are here to support you. As we do that, I'm going to invite those of you who are online, please feel free to pose queries in the chat. We have 4 dedicated volunteers who are working in the online chat, ready to try their best to answer your queries. Is Mr. Benty here? All right, he may not be here as yet. So at this time, I'm going to invite Dr. Tina Hilton Kong. She is the clinical director of the University Health Center, and she's going to share with you about the services of the Health Center, as well as just some general tips with respect to physical and mental wellness. Dr. Hilton Kong.
Sorry, or I could just talk, really. I have a presentation, but I guess a tough one on that. Okay, all right. So I would have done a presentation for the undergrad, and the services don't really change for postgrad versus undergrad. The health center, good afternoon, by the way, and welcome. I am not as, pricey as those on the online, and but we have an exciting program at the health center. We offer services to students, to their staff, their dependents, retirees, and it's just a little bit of us. So we ask for patience while we have so many patients. We would like to, oh great, thank you. And so, no, this is not the one. This is the one for the, it's okay. I think we can, no. That was for undergrad. I think it's similar, so grad. I think if I do the grad. Not this one. This one is fine, I think. Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah, so we have been addressing more illness, and we would like to get to the stage where we can address more wellness and less of the illness, but that is a process that needs all of us and needs some steps along the way. So we are committed to promoting wellness, but we often don't get to practically do that. So we're glad to, whenever we can, do any sort of presentations as well. This is where the health center is. It's right across from Social Welfare Training Center, where you can sometimes get some food. So that's how some people may know us, right? We are open 8:30 to 4:30. There was a time before I became clinical director that they were open late, some evenings, and on Saturdays. But we had to put a pause on that due to COVID, and we could not reopen at this time due to our resources. We would not be able to stretch so far. Our telephone lines, you can reach us by those numbers there, or if you're on campus, you can reach us by the extension. It would be better for the extension because the external lines, we get a lot of calls
for persons thinking that we are a university hospital or so desperate trying to get the hospital they can't get through. The next number on Google is us. And try as you may, they want us to transfer them from here to the hospital, which we can't. So about 40% of our calls may be taken up by that. So be patient when you see that the telephone is busy. And you can make appointments by phone. This is where we are on Google Maps. So we're kind of central, but yes, we know it's not so near. It took a little sweat to walk over, but it's good and healthy. The services we offer are for nursing services, so you may come and not necessarily see the doctor. You could come, and if you want to just have your blood pressure checked or your blood sugar checked, you could do that. You could come and have a dressing done. You could come and, just nursing service. You want to do a pregnancy test, you could come and do that. We do have our doctors, 3 full-time doctors we have, not 3 usually at a time. I have one on study leave and so on, but we try to get some coverage. And those we have appointments as well as walk-in. Usually they will screen for the day to see what is priority and what they can manage and who can get an appointment and so on. And we have a dental clinic. At the moment, they're just offering like pain management and some consultation as we have some environmental issues that we need to sort through. The pharmacy, that's open for everyone. Outside, not only just persons who we cater for at the health center. So people can come from the health center the community health center down the road, or from anywhere to get our pharmacy. And we have found a way to be able to improve our supplies. Because we got a bad rap, and people know us as you call them and they don't have it. But I'm telling you, test us out. And if we don't have it, just tell us, we can try to get it, or there are some limitations at times where stocks are not available from the distributors. We do have a public health service that we offer vaccines, and this year I am really trying to have that we can offer vaccines not only to nursing and medical students, which is what we have done, but to also staff. Because from time to time, staff needs their boosters, as well when I do medicals and so on, instead of having to send them outside, we could actually have it there. And our counseling services are up, I would say that's probably our flagship services, because our counseling services are in demand. Counseling here on campus, mental health on campus is at another level. I know the head of the counseling unit says she really needs persons who have been trained in trauma-informed care. Those days when we could get by with a little counselor that may have had some little sort of minor training, we can't. We have to really have clinical psychologists and so on. So I always say, remember your physical and your mental health is the bees. Your breathing, we don't have to think about breathing, but sometimes it will help us to be mindful in our breathing, to help us to relax, to help us to think. So just, taking those breaths short, keeping them, blowing out, doing a square when you do that, some simple things. The many techniques are online. Eating, that little picture there is Ministry of Health promotes, that's how our plates should look, probably as colorful. But I know when we get our box lunches that it looks white with rice, plenty rice. Or some food, because we say we want to be like you saying and eat some yam, but then we're not. And then we cover it with gravy and all of that. So basically, if you look at that, the healthy way is half of your plate should have fruits and vegetables. And I know what vegetables cost like now at the market, so you're going to even you'll have some vegetables which are pasta with a little grated carrot in it. And pasta is full of starches. So let us try to be more conscious about that, and probably also advocate, because I think the university is also trying to ensure that who supplies meals here are trying to have it more nutritiously. And our exercise, so take a walk over to the health center. You could exercise that way. Park your car over by FST and walk to FHE when it's not too hot. To try to weave in exercise as much as you can. You're busy, you're working, you're doing postgrad, try to see how best. And your exercise doesn't have to be at a gym. But the campus has lots, as someone in the presentation said, enjoy the campus. It's a beautiful campus. And we have lots of spaces that you could actually exercise down by the bowl or so on. And there's Faculty of Sports, I had joined that. They have a UE Moves. And I have started from October 2021. And I took a pause in June when I had a lot of stuff to do and said it was too hot, and so I'm back. It was 3 evenings and a group of us, and then it's also becomes a kind of social thing too. So it's $500 a month for a Jamaican, for a staff member or student. Hello, Jamaican dollars, 500. The guy who is our coach says, people don't want that because they say it's too cheap and they say it can't be good. I don't care, 500, I get a trainer and us and a group of us, and we get exercises and we quarrel with him and he quarrel with us and we have fun. So I would encourage, sign up. And you can also have other programs too. At the Faculty of Sports, thank you, at the Faculty of Sports. And they would actually do some checks, see what you are at the beginning and then, and so on. So you can get some progress reports. So sleep, but I say for exercise, make sure you enjoy it, because you don't want to be a chore. So it should be something that you enjoy. You're at home, and it doesn't have to be, when you open the cardiology protocol, it's not what pill you are to take. The first thing is about exercise. Half hour, 5 days a week. It can be 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 5, as long as you do it. And so do things what you enjoy, dance, skip, whatever. And sleeping. I tell myself this too, I did not sleep 6 to 8 hours, couple days this week, but you're trying to catch up with some of your admin work, but similarly you'll be trying to catch up with your studying and so on. Every now and again that will happen, especially if you work and all of that. But in truth, we sometimes are making it worse for ourselves, because unrestful sleeping is a very important part of your health. That's when your body repairs itself. So that could even prevent you from cancer if we stretch it. Not too far, because it's sleeping and during that REM sleep that your body repairs itself and get rid of things it doesn't need. So it's very important. Safer social life choices. You guys are more mature, but even when we are more mature, we can make some very stupid social choices from time to time. So check in with yourselves. It's Friday night. A little alcohol is nice sometimes, but we don't want to get too delighted, or we might have this nice-looking person, but then that's about all there is, and then we end up in some situation. So let us just be realistic, and also, I think, be good on yourself, because sometimes we beat ourselves too much for those stupid mistakes we made, but we just need to say, oops, note to self, it's a mistake, move on. Because otherwise you trap yourselves with misery, which is not good for your health. So to use the health center, you just need your health card. UE offers Sagicor card at the moment. You can use it externally as well as on campus. You can use it, if you're using it on campus for students, they just swipe the card. UE just gets $500 from the insurance company for that. If you are using it outside, you need to look on the card and see what the card covers. The rest you would have to pay. But it's open to use outside. And medication, there would be a co-payment. Be wise about your health card. Look at it and know it. So I think for students, you have like a set amount that you'll get free. I think it's like $6,000 if medications that will be finished in no time. But then you pay that. You get into major medical, where your next set of drugs you have to pay up front, $5,000 worth. Then after that, you're into the 80%, 20%. Some pharmacists don't remind you about that. Our pharmacists will, okay? So just remember, these are some of the tricks. So yes, so just make sure you know the benefits. And you will get that once you have your ID card and your health card. Here's the part I would like to spend a little time on. Sometimes things happen. Life happens, something happened, you got into hospital, whatever, and you really could not continue. Don't stress about it. you be, in discussion with your doctor, whether external or at the health center, you will decide what to step forward. In fact, I find, and especially this faculty, I find the coordinators are often who would have this discussion with the students and make recommendations. And so I do know that throughout the university, many of the senior and the lecturers and so on do have the students' interests at heart and recommend for them to get seen or get followed up before it's too late. And so if it is that you have a situation, then you could apply for leave of absence. What we would need for that is the medical report, a detailed medical report that you sent to the clinical director, not to your coordinator. Nobody in admin needs to know your medical information. You can send your sick leave, which says you will be taking 10 days. Doctor says you need to take 10 days, 2 days, whatever. That's what you send. That you send to us as well as a detailed medical report. The situation is I have been diagnosed with endometriosis, da-da-da-da-da-da. I've been diagnosed with bipolar, da-da-da-da. I'm on a da-da-da-da. And that's a doctor-to-doctor discussion. In fact, you have to actually sign that you would like that information to be disclosed to the doctor. Because I've called doctors, I've seen students send things, and the doctor might have written something vague, or I need to check. And when I called the doctor, he said, I don't have anything signed to say that the patient wants me to disclose, even though I'm a doctor calling. And so part of that form for final exams, it has at the bottom, Tina signed to say Dr. Miles could disclose to you, da-da-da-da. Okay, so it's very, especially in this time of data protection. We value and we do have confidentiality because we are very serious about that. And also, if you're unable to sit, you can send in that exam exemption from before. You don't have to wait 2 years later. Many times, these are the situations we're trying to do this back thing, and then there are issues. All right? Is there any question relating to the medical certificate? If it's not exams, if it's in course and so on, it's not a final grade, you can simply send a sick certificate. It's just that the formal medical excuse has to come through the health center. So you could send a sick certificate, it's 2 days, it was for a presentation, you were unable to present. We will do a letter to say, this person had a medical condition, please excuse. We will never say this person has endometriosis, this person has bipolar. We'll never disclose the medical diagnosis to the administration. Okay, that's in-house in your file. And this would be like what the coursework form would look like. So you just, because we need the information as to who is the course director or coordinator, what's the course code, and so on. And you could tell us what those numbers are like, whether it's a lab, whether it's a mid-semester, whatever. And this one is the exams form. If it is a final grade subject or activity or an exam, you can get this online under the examinations tab. It is a form, medical form, I think it is entitled, and there's a part A and a part B. Part A you complete correctly. People have completed and they put the wrong course code, and we have sent over that information to exams, and then it's another big tour. We do not complete those forms. I see sometimes course directors complete it for the patients. We do not. If we have something and cannot read, we ask them to write it. We are very careful to say that, if anything, it's you made the mistake, not us. All right? And it doesn't have a telephone number on it, but I would urge, please put your telephone, because at times we would need to call you. And the part B of the form would have the medical report section, which the doctor can complete, or if they wrote a letter which has enough information, then we don't need to complete part B. And as I was saying, the immunizations, at the moment, that's not quite started. We hope that by mid-September, we would be able to offer some of these vaccines, and we're trying to access them from the health department so that we can get them at a fairer price than outside, if they're available. Like chickenpox is not available, and hepatitis B at the health department, so we have to purchase those outside, and we'd have to pass on some of that cost. I wanted to also let you know we're working with Health Connect Jamaica. That's an organization that operates through the Faculty of Medical Sciences, and that is in collaboration with USAID, they work to try to help to improve the access of persons living with HIV and prevention services for HIV. So Health Connect, they are also trying to work through the health center so that they can offer to students the free oral HIV testing and also PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV. That's fairly new, and we're working with them. Nurse Jacinth Moore, she is their face. And we already went through that. And I said the dental services for now are a little bit limited, but when we're back on track with some of our, let's say, infrastructure needs, then we will be able to offer more cleaning and so on. We can't do we can't do braces, we can't do some of those extractions because they are more complex, so we would often refer outside or to polyclinic. So you can, and as I said, that's our pharmacy, and they really try. I think of all the services at the health center, the pharmacy has made, if I have most improvement student, I would say the pharmacists. They have made every effort to make it more available. And, this is a WhatsApp. I think you should take this number down. That's a WhatsApp number, 521-3473. You can WhatsApp your prescription. We're not going to take any calls on that. You can WhatsApp your prescription. They will be able to say if they have it, what it costs, and so on. And our counseling services, we are there. They're very limited. We have 4 counselors at the moment, which include part-time, and 1 psychiatrist. So, but they work together, and we try very much, and they often are on call 24 hours, especially at this time with orientation and lots of on-hall activities happening. All right? If there are any questions, comments, I thank you for your attention, and I hope everybody stays well. And if you happen to be unwell or think you're unwell, check it out, whether at your private or here at the health center. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hilton Kong. So Mr. Benty is here with us now. He is the president of the Mona Association of Postgraduate Students. He's going to welcome you. And immediately after Mr. Benty, I'm going to invite Ms. Yolande Lindsay to come up and to share with you. Ms. Lindsay is from the library. Thank you.
All right, so thank you and good afternoon, everyone. As our lovely moderator would have mentioned, I'm Shaquille Benty. I'm the Mona Association of Postgraduate Students representative, and on the Guild of Students, I'm the postgrad representative. So what does that mean? Essentially, there's 3 mandates that we focus on at the Mona Association of Postgraduate Students, one of those being advocacy. That main focus is essentially all of your issues, all of your problems, anything that you might have or want information on. We're the point persons, and we can also assist you in which direction to go towards. The other step is collaboration. I like to think collaboration or volunteering, so to speak. There is other postgraduate students that might need assistance, as well as undergraduate students who are looking to follow in your footsteps and be a part of the postgraduate experience. And the final one being experience. When I say experience, I mean the university experience. I know a lot of us as postgraduate students, the experience is different. It's not the same as undergrad, but there are things that are still enjoyable. One of those things being the corporate mingle that we have, our Mona Campus Connect, and other seminars and platforms for you guys to express yourself and have enjoyment while being here and studying at the University of the West Indies. Within good timing, because I know a lot of us work, I myself work, so that's the 3 mandates that we focus on here at the MAPS committee. One of the things that we're trying to do now is build our community, and as such, I would ask for you guys to follow the social media page and see the information that we're putting out for you guys to be engaged and follow us. My number, should you guys need it, is 876-521-2545. It's 876-521-2545. And I just want to welcome you guys to the experience here at the Humanities and Education. And as you pursue your postgraduate diploma, just make the most of it, find an avenue, make your impact, and I wish you all the best in your studies.
Good afternoon. So my name is Yolanda Lindsay. So I am the liaison librarian for two departments, Literatures in English and History and Archaeology. And I'm here not to introduce you to the library because I'm assuming many of you know the Mona Library already. I'm here to remind you of what a valuable resource the main library is. So start at the very beginning. The main library houses the Humanities and Social Sciences collection, and and it comprised of the following. Now we have 3 floors with reading rooms and stacks. When I say stacks, I mean stacks of books, literally. Computer labs where you can go to do your research. If you don't have a working computer, the computer labs are open for you. We have a multifunction room. This is somewhere where your departments or other entities can go and host events. And we have the West Indies and Special Collections, where I am assigned. And we have reprographic services. This is where you can go to print your papers, do photocopies, and other services that are provided. You can even go there to buy pens, pencils, paper, what you need in an emergency. RISU is there for you. So, what are the resources we have? We have print resources. And for this presentation, Humanities and Education, the resources at the library are organized according to Library of Congress, which is an international standard of organization for print resources. And we also use the Library of Congress subject headings, both of which ensure that similar subjects are classed together. It makes it easier to find when you're doing your research. So these are the basics, the very basic breakdown of subjects in the Humanities and Education section. We have philosophy, psychology, C for auxiliary sciences of history, history of civilization, archaeology, D for world history, E for history of the Americas, L for education, M for music and books on music, and P for language and literature. And it breaks down into the most specific points that you could find. So we also have electronic resources, and it is comprehensive. It spans all subject areas in the social sciences, in the humanities, in education. I mean, all subject areas. Downloadable articles and books are available. We have read-only books. You can't download them, you can read them on the computer. We have subscription-based scholarly journals, free ebooks, user-friendly interface to allow various search techniques by title and subject. We provide citation guides and examination past papers. So these are some of the electronic-based databases that we provide. These are not all, but these are the most popularly used: EBSCO, Emerald, ProQuest, JSTOR, Project Muse. These are particularly good for persons doing history, archaeology, education, literature. And these are our book vendors. When I say book vendors, we're talking about ebooks here. eBree, SpringerLink, eBooks, eBook Central. They provide a very good variety of books, literature on the subjects that you're studying. So how do you access these resources? Well, as long as you have your ID and your password, which you will be assigned, you can check out anything from the library. We're talking either physically or online. You can come into the library, browse our shelves, take up what you need, go to the front desk, and check out the books. Or you can go online, look at what is there. You can download the articles that you want. As long as you have your ID and your password, I was talking about OURVLE, you're set. Any questions you have, you come in and you ask any librarian on duty or any librarian that you may know, and they will help you. There are 2 ways to access your e-resources. You can go to the library's page, that is, you go to UWE's main page, click on libraries, and you click on resources, and it will give you a list of resources that should suit your research purposes. Just look at what you need, click on it, and if you still don't find what you're looking for, come and find a librarian. Or you can go straight to UWE Link, do your search there for any subject area, and the articles, the books, everything that we have, both physically and electronically, should come up there. We also have library guides, and these, as the title says, are subject or library guides that can provide you with not the most extensive information, but it will give you some groundwork to help you do your research and point you in the direction that you might want to go. There's a whole list of library guides, and it encompasses all 3 campuses, different subject areas, particularly, I think, within the humanities and education section. So check it out. Here's a list of what we have. West Indies and Special Collections. Oh, yes, I'm going to pitch West Indies and Special Collections. It is a very unique collection. Its whole priority is to collect literature on the Caribbean. We have microfilm, we have some film, we have books, we have articles, all focused on the Caribbean. So come in, do your research. Also, the thesis collection is kept there. So if you want to, for example, check out somebody else's thesis who may have done something similar, you can come in and look. You're not allowed to leave with the thesis, but you can examine, you do your research. You can sometimes find sources from these theses as well. It's a very extensive collection, and it goes back to, I think, the 1950s. So what are the services? We provide library orientation, such as this. We go more. Sometimes lecturers ask us to provide a more extensive orientation session for students. We have circulation interlibrary loans. For example, sometimes you will find a book in the catalog that we may not have physically, but Caville may have, St. Augustine may have. And we will intercede on your behalf to see if we can get a copy of the source for you to either borrow, or if they were willing to scan it, digitize it, so you can get a copy of it, within, of course, copyright rules. We provide information literacy sessions if needed, research assistance if needed, of course, computer access, reprographic services, and we have e-top-up for your printing account. Reference services are in person, over the phone, via email. You can use reference.library. In fact, let me break it down for you. For reference.library, if you have research needs, that is the email I would advise you to send your research queries to. For the MILU, that is if you have information literacy needs or thesis consultations or scrutinies. We have an instant messaging via WhatsApp that you can text your queries to. We will always respond, and as quickly as possible. So remember, remember, you can access our services and resources anywhere, anytime. We actually do offer 24/7 service delivery. Your UWE ID is a passport to the library, and the library is always there for you. I mean, we're always there for you. We have an online service. So any questions you may have, feel free to contact us at any time. We will have, as the semester goes on, sensitization sessions on how to use UWE Link at different times. So please keep checking your email. We'll tell your lectures. Please attend when you get the opportunity. That's it. That's it. Welcome to your library. Please use us. We're there for you.
Thank you, Ms. Lindsay. So we've heard about the health services, critical, the library, critical. We're now going to hear about finances. We're going to ask Ms. Kimberly Henry from the Student Administrative Services section to come and share with you. And following Ms. Henry, Mr. Roden, Sheldon Roden, and Ms. Janine Henry from Registry Information Services will share with you.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so on behalf of the Bursar Department, I would like to welcome you to the UWI Pelican family, and if you're a returning Pelican, big up once more. Now, I'm representing the Student Administrative Services section, more commonly known as SAS, as well as our twin office, the Billings and Receivables section. Now, our primary role entails anything when it comes down to your finances. So if you have any financially related questions, SAS is the place that you need to go for the customer service. So we're here to provide you with financial advice, financial information. We're also the section that deals with ensuring that payments are applied to your accounts in a timely manner. And as well as if you're by any chance a scholarship recipient, we are the section who basically would reach out to the respective donors and try to ensure that your accounts are updated in a timely manner as well. Now, if you've not yet made payment of your commitment fee, you can certainly go ahead and do so. The commitment fee is basically a deposit that you make towards your account and can be used to offset any future charges that are applied. So, for example, the first thing that might be taken, or it might be used to make payment for, would be the miscellaneous fees. If you, for example, requested any documents like any financial letters, the commitment letter, the commitment fee is there to help to pay for that. So there's no need for you to make another payment once the commitment fee is there. But importantly, it is non-refundable. So if by whatever reason you choose to maybe defer, or you want to start next semester, or you want to change your program, it is a one-time fee that you make the payment of, but just letting you know that it is non-refundable, neither it is transferable to another person. So at any given time, a student can anticipate at least 3 main charges to be applied to the account. Naturally, tuition should be charged to your account once there's registration. And the amount that is charged to your account is dependent on your program of study. Things, for example, your nationality might play an important role, as well as whether you're full-time or part-time. Things like that help to determine the final cost that is applied to your statement of accounts. Miscellaneous fees are mandatory. So once you're registered at the institution, you are charged a miscellaneous fee that is a one-time thing. So you pay the miscellaneous fee only once per academic year. If by whatever reason you are living on hall, that's the only time you can expect for a residence charge to be applied to your account. And naturally, the charge that is applied for residence will be based on your hall of that you're residing on. So I mentioned the main fees, but how do you go about finding these fees? Now, the fees are available online. They're published on our website. The easiest way to locate it is to Google or to use any search engine and type UWI check fees or check fees UWI Mona, and it is usually the first link that is populated. Upon clicking on said link, you'll be taken to an interface that looks like this. And you would naturally will select the option depending on the information that you're looking for. So if you'd like to confirm your tuition, you would click on the link for graduate programs, tuition fees for graduate programs, miscellaneous fees, residence, you name it. But there's also a link here that makes it convenient for you to locate our e-services platform where you can make access the e-commerce website. So you can make payments online from this platform as well. So the miscellaneous fees, that mandatory fee that I outlined earlier, as a graduate student, if you are traveling to school, the miscellaneous fee is $30,457. But if you're living on hall, it is $38,957. Now, both the fees mentioned already include the cost for your ID card. So upon making payment, you can go to the ID room to sort out your ID. If your receipt does not explicitly say miscellaneous fees, they might direct you to SAS for you to get some form of support that you can provide to them to say, yes, you have made payment of your miscellaneous fees, and then you can go forward with the ID. So payments can be made at any one of these authorized payment locations. So the first two, which would be the bursar cashiers or e-commerce platforms, are the fastest. So any payments made here will be applied to your account immediately. The bursar cashiers, if by any chance you're down on Western Jamaica and you have the money at that point, or you'd like to use your card, you can go to the Western Jamaica campus and it will still be reflected on your account as a MONA student, and vice versa. But other options include NCB, whether it is a bill payment option. We are available there as a bill payee. There's also the option for Educom, JN, Western Union, Bill Express. All these options, they already have our banking information, so there's no need for me to provide you with same at this time. And these options, you can expect a processing time of at least 24 to 48 hours for it to be automatically routed to your bank account. Now, the very last option that is there, which is the wire transfer, this should be used as a very, very, very last option. One, it takes the longest time to process. It includes a lot of manual labor, so it results in us having to go forward to manually locate the transaction on our statements and then subsequently update your statement of account. So if you can utilize any other option, it is strongly encouraged that you do so. But if for whatever reason the wire transfer or a bank transfer is the only option that you have available at that time, then you would have to contact SAS for us to provide you with the banking details that you need to fulfill the transaction. So the e-commerce platform, just a quick introduction. So remember that link, the red button that is on the check fees platform, or you can access the e-commerce platform by searching for UE services on any search engine. You would be required to create an account. So you create the account and then you log in. You are required to register the card as well. And then once you're successful with those, then you go forward and you make your payment. So this is a little screenshot of what the page actually looks like, but I'm just highlighting where you see the manual. So if you wish to use our e-commerce platform, then you go ahead and if you have any questions, if you want a step-by-step guide, there's a manual available on the website where you can go ahead and follow the steps. It will outline which cards are accepted, Visa and MasterCard naturally, whether it is credit or a debit card, but it can give you more information as well. And it will give you information, for example, which currencies are accepted on the e-commerce platform, things like that. But if you have any questions, you're trying to use the e-commerce platform, you're having difficulties with and you need some technical support, then the first persons you would reach out to is the Mona Information Technology Services, MITS, and they can help you to troubleshoot or to offer the advice or guidance from there on. So the payment deadline. So today is actually the payment deadline for semester 1. And this would mean if full payment of your semester's fees, so that is the tuition, the miscellaneous, and the residence were applicable. For semester 2, the payment deadline is January 12th. There are 2 different deadlines because you are billed across 2 semesters. So on the fee sheet, for example, for tuition, you will see the per annum or the per program tuition cost that is listed there. But in terms of billing you, we will bill you on a semester basis and you pay on a semester basis. You have that option. But if you're unable to pay in its entirety, meaning today you're unable to pay everything, the miscellaneous fees and the tuition or the residence, then you can take advantage of our residence or tuition installment plan. Now, to qualify for the tuition installment plan, you definitely need to make sure that you're registered, because remember, we can only bill you for tuition if there is registration there. So make sure that you've selected all your courses or what you need to do for the semester. The miscellaneous fee needs to be paid in its entirety, and a 25% deposit is required upfront. So 25% of the semester's fees, tuition fee, it is required upfront. And if by any chance you are a returning Pelican and you would have had any balances outstanding before, that needs to be cleared. If we have anyone here that would like to take advantage of a residence installment plan, the miscellaneous fee payment is a requirement, but the charge for residence also needs to be on your account, and a deposit of 25% of the residence fees, it is needed upfront. So to get on the plan, considering that you've met all the requirements, then you have up until the 15th of September to request the tuition installment plan or the residence installment plan. Now, this is something that you do on a semester basis. So if you're accepted, if you're approved for the plan for semester 1, and you would like to take advantage of it for semester 2, you'd have to reapply at that time by the stipulated deadline. It is a plan that is available online, so you do not necessarily have to come in office to do the process. You can go to the Bursary Online Student System, more commonly known as BOSS, and you make the application for the installment plan there. So this is just a breakdown as to what the plan would actually do. So the deposit is required upfront, 25% minimum of the semester's fees, and you can get up to 3 months to clear off whatever balance that is left there. So the plan is generated on whatever balance that is left after you've paid the miscellaneous fee and the deposit. So if you pay more than the 25% upfront, naturally whatever balance that is left at the end of the going on the plan, that is what the plan will be offered on. So if you have a plan for 100,000, you have a balance, of 100,000 that will be divided into 3 equal parts. And it is due at the end of each month up until November. So I have to inform you of the penalties that you are subject to if it's a case that you do not get yourself on an approved plan and if the payment is not made in full today. So the first thing is that by the university's policy, a 1% late fine is calculated and applied to the account until the balance is cleared. So until the account is regularized, you will continue to see where late fines are applied at the end of each month and added to said balance. You will not be able to sit any final assessments or any mid-semester assessments if that is applicable to you because there is a financial hold that will be enforced on an account with a balance outstanding. So if, for argument's sake, you do not get yourself on the installment plan and you do not clear the balance in full, you run the risk of a financial hold being applied to the account. So the financial hold restricts your ability to enter an exam room. It restricts your ability to access certain services on campus. You can't see your grades, you can't request a transcript, things like that you are barred from doing. But for extremely delinquent accounts, you will be transferred to a collection agency, but this is not something that we do immediately. If it's maybe like over a year or so and your account is in arrears, naturally we will reach out to you to remind you of your obligation. But if that is not fulfilled, then we have the option to send you to the bureau as well as to the collection agency. So earlier I mentioned the Bursary Online Student System. I just want to introduce you to that real quickly. So if you want to get any services from SAS, so for example, the installment plan, you want to get a tuition letter, you want to see your statement of accounts, things like that, you can access this from any search engine. Just go ahead and type in UE Online Systems. Under the section for students, click on the one that says BOSS, that link that says BOSS. You sign in with the same credentials that you use to access for example, SAS, the administration system where you do your registration. So your ID number and the same password. And from there you can go in, you can peruse your unofficial statement of accounts, or you can use any one of the forms I've previously mentioned to request any one of the services from us. But if by any chance you're sending anyone to do business on your behalf, you can't come to us in person, or you're asking someone to call on your behalf, the proxy authorization, which is also a form that is available on the Bursary website, is very, very important. Meaning, we will not be able to give anyone any information about your account without an active proxy authorization in place. Because there are legal implications that can be taken against the institution, and we do not want for that to happen. So if you're sending anyone to do business on your behalf, so you're sending anyone to collect documents, to seek information, financial information about your account, please enable the proxy authorization via BOSS, and we will be able to assist accordingly. So these are just questions that I would have already addressed throughout the presentation. But if you have any further questions, you can reach out to us. We're available on weekdays, 8:30 to 4:30. The phone number, I advise that you call us at 876-618-5066. That's our cellular number, and you have a shorter wait time as opposed to calling the 927 number, which is the university's number that you would have to ask for a transfer to us. We're available via WhatsApp as well for chats. You can send us a WhatsApp chat at 2808238, or send us an email at customer.services@uemona.edu.gm. All right, so I saw The numbers, all right, so the phone number, the cellular number is 618-5066. So 876-618-5066. But the institution's number is 876-927-1660 to 9, and you will have to ask for a transfer to SAS. Or WhatsApp number for chats, it is 876-280-8238. All right, so I saw, yes. All right, so for the tuition payment, you have the option of looking on the fee sheet itself. All the fees are published there. So you would know what your tuition charge is or what to anticipate from that particular platform. Or you have the option to wait until the registration is complete. So these students would not have selected their courses just yet. So they have the option to wait, but if they do that, it's already past the deadline. So as soon as they register, I urge them to just go ahead and make payment. But they can pay in advance, and when they do register, the charge will just come from the payment. No, man, if the charge is not on the account, so if they have not yet registered for their classes, then we cannot apply a penalty on the account. Right. So the only way a penalty is applied to the account is if a charge is there that was not addressed. Yes? Well, as I said, considering that today is the deadline itself, anything that happens after today, if you register today, then I urge you to pay at the soonest. There's no extension of the deadline because you did not register by the deadline, by the payment deadline itself. All right, any other questions? No more? All right then, but if you have any questions, please reach out to SAS. Welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Miss. So we have our representatives from the Registry Information Systems who are going to share with you now. And the name is Aisha McLeese. All right. Please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. So this is going to be a very quick presentation. We're going to discuss course selection a little bit and what you need to do in order to complete your registration so that the information that was just provided to you can be put into good use. So to move really quickly, registration involves course selection, which means all students are required to go onto our student administrative system online. You can simply put that into Google and it will take you straight to your login page. For all of our systems, you will enter using your student ID number and your password. Once you have entered SAS, you will navigate to the Banner 9 registration portal, and you will see the links to these once you have entered SAS. Now, once you have completed course selection, which simply means adding your required courses to your record for each semester, the final step in the process is gaining financial clearance, which simply means once you have registered and have been charged, you pay your fees. This allows you, your registration plus financial clearance allows you to sit your exams. So it then means that registration is of vital importance to reduce stress, because graduate studies is a stressful time for all of us. I know I'm a graduate student, right? So Before you even log into SAS, sessions like these are hosted to allow you to get the information that you need about your particular programs or your majors, and it will also give you some information about what your course codes would be. All of this information is also available in your handbooks or any other program brochures or documents that you would have gotten from your departments. And so this also forms the initial stages of what we call academic counseling here on campus, which is just to ensure that you are very, very familiar about what is required from you per semester and what needs to go on your record to be registered. Once you have your course codes, then you proceed to SAS and you select those course codes. You're registered, and unless you need what's called an override, you pay your fees, and then you get financial clearance, you pass, and you leave UA and do great things out there, right? So then, so I just want to point to the fact that academic counseling will vary based on your particular program. If you need information or just, you're unfamiliar with the program, what may be required of you, I know that the persons working in the departments, they're my coworkers, so of course I'll say this, but no, it's true. They're very, very helpful. They have all of the information you need. If you're ever feeling confused about what to do next, please reach out to your lecturers, reach out to your admin people, and they'll give you the best guidance. So, in order to facilitate you moving through the course selection process as quickly and as easily as possible, once you have entered our systems, you will see, before you even log in, right? You will see video tutorials of how to log into SAS, how to select a course, how to request an override. All of that is there for you. And you'll be able to, it's very quick, so it's not going to take up a lot of time, because time is of the essence. And we also have PDF guides inside the portal. So after you've logged in, if you forget something from the video, you'll still have documents inside that will help you to figure out what to do next if you come upon something that you're not really quite sure what to do with. So, I want to remind everyone that you must be registered per semester. And the system will ask you, it will ask you to select which semester you're selecting your courses for, and you'll search for those courses that are available in that semester. So currently we're in 2023-2024 semester 1, and so that will naturally be the first semester that you select to register for. Once you have searched for your courses and selected them, added them to your record, you simply move on to registering for semester 2 once you are aware of what your courses are. I saw a hand. It depends on your program. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you were told that you need to register for 3 courses per semester. That's the question? Right, and, Okay. All right. So the number of courses that you're required to register for per semester is usually given in your program guide. The program guide is created in order to ensure that you complete on time and also that you have the best chance of completing on time. Graduate studies is very heavy, that's my experience. And so if you want to do extra, I would suggest you go to the faculty and have that conversation with them about what you can manage. Okay? If there are any other questions, they will be answered, they will be addressed after. Right, so I've already spoken about entering SAS, I've spoken about the guides, we've talked about payment of fees and financial clearance, and Ms. Henry went into depth with that. Points. Okay, so similar to payment deadlines, there are registration deadlines that you must be aware of and follow. Currently, normal registration is open and normal registration ends on September 17th. What this means is that students are permitted to add and drop courses to their records for semester 1 until September 17th without being fined. Following September 18th, literally the next day at midnight, you will be billed in order to add and drop a course. Dropping off courses also has a deadline. Students have until September 29th to drop a course from their record for that term. Okay? So after the 18th of September, if you have to drop something, you will have to pay a fee to go in and drop that course. But on September 30th, you will not be allowed to drop a course. In order to drop a course after the drop deadline has passed, you will have to go through graduate studies in order to submit that request, which must be approved by the board or your department. I should also point to the fact that the penalty increases as you move through the semester to add your courses. So on September 24th, it moves from $1,000 to $2,000. From October 2nd to November 24th, it moves to $4,000. And then for the remainder of the semester, until the semester ends in December, you will have to pay $8,000 per day. So if you make a mistake, I need to add something the next day, that's another $8,000 until the semester ends. Again, we urge all students, graduates, undergraduate, to register as early as possible to avoid the penalties. If you can, get in early so that you get this out of the way and just start moving into courses. For graduate students specifically, you will become familiar with attributes on your courses which differentiate students. So currently, there are courses on the system which are scheduled for GPA students in a GPA taught program and courses scheduled for non-GPA students. Now, your departments would be able to better advise you on where you fall, and so they would also tell you what streams you need to register for. So for each course, when you move into the system, you will be required to select the particular stream that you need to be able to register for that course. If, for example, you were to select an incorrect stream that has been scheduled, you will get an error that cannot be overwritten, and you must then drop that and go and select the correct stream. I also want to point to a very important part of this process. You must submit your courses on the record. Once you have navigated, added all your courses, there is a submit button on the page that you must select for the courses to be added. This has tripped up a lot of students sometimes. They don't see the button and they think they're selected add, so it's there. So I'm telling you now, you can tell your friends, look for the submit button. Submit, you will notice that your courses move from gray to green. Green means go, that means you're registered. No registration is complete until all of your courses have been selected, all of your override requests have been approved, and you have been financially cleared. Please remember that registering for your course also means that you're registering for your exam. Any student who has not successfully registered cannot enter the exam room. That's whether it's online or a physical room. They will check your IDs, and if you're not up to date, it will create problems. I've seen it. For all students who need their ID cards, which you must have, again, you are expected to pay your commitment fee, and then you will be able to be processed inside the assembly hall Monday to Fridays from 9 to 6 p.m. Currently, we have an ID section there that allows you to print your ID. So once you've paid up your miscellaneous fees, then you can go in, and our assistants there will guide you through the ID process. The Registration Assistance Center inside the Assembly Hall is also open and will remain open until the end of the normal registration period. There are computers there, there are assistants there, there are members from our office there to help and support all of you throughout the registration and course selection process. So if you feel that the resources online still kind of shaky for you, you can come by the assembly hall and we'll be more than happy to walk you through the process. Until when? Until the end of normal registration, so that's September 17th. Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, until at least September 17th. If you're having issues with course selection, you can also email us at course.selection@uwimona.edu.jm. This email address is specific for course selection queries. So if it's a Billings query or something else, then please don't use this email address. But once it has something to do with selecting your courses, you can shoot us an email. We will respond. We will. And you can also contact us at any of the numbers on the screen. So if you need to take a screenshot, you may go ahead and do so. Our office is also located on the first floor of the Assembly Hall building. So if you need to come over to work anything out with us, we're right there. You can come by, you can visit us. Okay. You're not seeing it. An important point of the process is getting into SAS in the first place. Sometimes students have issues logging into SAS or logging into any of the systems because your password needs to be reset. Please also note that you must have accepted your offer in order to be able to access our systems. So if you got an offer, but you did not select accept, technically you're not a student. Technically you're not a student until you've registered for courses, but the first step, that's your responsibility, is accepting that offer. Once you have accepted your offer and you have been given your domain credentials, you should be able to access our online systems. If that does not happen, you can contact MITS, which is our technical support guru and team and lifesavers. You can contact MITS. They're also available online on the SAS login homepage. You'll see a little chat box and you can speak with them about resetting your password. You can also WhatsApp them. And they're also very responsive. If you need to take this, I would take this picture. This is very important. All right. Okay, and that's it for my presentation. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Miss Matthews. I got the name correct now. All right, I know it's been a lot of information and I know it may feel overwhelming, but you will have time, and you will have time in your soon coming departmental sessions. As we start to bring the program to a close, we have a few students who are going to be inspiring you. We have two students, I hope that they are here, Juliet Jackson, an MPhil, wonderful PhD student from the Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy. Tamara Scott McFarlane, the president of the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education. They're going to both make their way up and briefly share with you a few tips to help you on your journey. So Juliet, Tamara, and then after, we're going to have Blair Santos, who's going to be inspiring you with a poem, correct? Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone. I just want to congratulate you for making this very significant decision. Give yourselves a round of applause. So 5 years ago, I started this journey, just like you, and it has paid off. But it wasn't easy. You see, on my first class, the first day of graduate studies, I was in class, and I noticed that the place was getting blurry. I couldn't see the screen, and I was just feeling sick. The following day, things got worse, and I ended up in the hospital and was admitted for 2 weeks. I had diabetes. I became visually impaired, and during that first week, I had online class. I couldn't see anything. I could only hear. Now, what that taught me is that life happens, and you will face challenges along your journey. But giving up is never an option. You see, this opportunity that you have now is life-changing, but you have to be disciplined, you have to be determined, and you have to be committed to the task. I'm going to encourage you off the bat not to allow anyone to drown you with negativity. Do not allow anyone to drown you with negativity. Of course, you'll be faced with challenges, but the approach you should take is to manage those challenges and to know that giving up is not an option. Now, how this program has benefited me, how graduate school has benefited me, it has changed my perspective. As a teacher of English, I came here with this brilliant thought that I speak British English. I speak British English. I was so certain of that. But then I discovered that I spoke something else. So graduate school will cause you to change your perspective. And you have to be humble and open-minded for that change in perspective. Also, your knowledge will expand. You'll become an expert in your field. And after you have become an expert in your field, you'll be more marketable. I became more marketable after graduate school. You also have the opportunity to contribute to your discipline. I came up with a brilliant idea. Well, I came up with an idea, a field of study in linguistics, and it happens to be the first in the Caribbean. So I'll be helping my country, and I'll be helping the region. I worked hard, and I was awarded a departmental scholarship for which I am grateful. So I want to assure you that things will only get better for you. Do you believe me? Yes, it will get better for you. Welcome to grad school. Persevere, press ahead, and think positively, and all will be well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My graduate experience will be twofold. One, I want to make a pitch for the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education, and I'll be using my personal experience for that pitch. I remember last year I stood on this platform, I was a nervous wreck, and the conversation I had with the then graduate students, to my mind, came from the head. This year, I'm speaking from the heart, and I'm happy that I have the former president here who can attest to that. Now, you're celebrating this orientation session on a theme, and there's one section of the theme that stood out when Doc spoke about it, rising above challenges and expectations. And I can tell you that becoming a member of the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education is designed to do just that. You're coming into a program where research will be the hallmark of what you do. Everything is hinged on research. Now, like myself and many of us, we're not the best at research. We're not very comfortable. We enjoy what it brings to us, but we might not necessarily be so au fait with conducting research, understanding the nuances of it. Now, when you become a part of this association, you are given the support. You're provided with professional development sessions that will push you towards that. For example, last year we looked at how you can move your writing, your thesis into publication, and we had a lovely discussion from the School of Education on quantitative research. Now for this year, we're planning to continue on that thrust, where we will explore quantitative research in our professional development sessions, as well as zero in on mixed methods research. And so I want you to come and be a part of this robust association, to hone your skills, to get that sort of mentorship, that sort of support. I am standing here as evidence of that support. I remember when I did my first graduate presentation, the questions and the comments were so robust, and had it not been for that level of support that was provided, I don't think I would have done as well in my head as I thought I did. So, what is it that you need to know about the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education? We are a team of graduate researchers, past students, present students, faculty members who are here to mentor persons coming in and those who just have that interest, that desire to do research, and the support that is there. So for now, we encourage persons to reach out to us via our email, and we promise that you'll get a response within 48 hours. It's agre, that is AGRE, Jamaica @gmail.com. We promise you will get a response. You'll get our membership application form. Membership is only $1,000 Jamaican dollars per year. However, as you reach out, you'll be invited to the WhatsApp group on our various platforms, or social media platforms. And what happens in those groups is not idle chatter, it's the support. So you might find a colleague providing you with information on a conference, local, regional, international conference, and you get that opportunity. You're reminded, why not submit an abstract? You're supported in that. And sometimes what you can experience in your little spaces, it's good. But when you have a large group of researchers interested in your development, sharing these opportunities, then the world is your oyster. There's so much more that you can do. And so we encourage you, and it's not just for the Graduate Association of the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education. You'll come to understand that once you're at this stage, it's very important that you network. And the association provides you with that opportunity for networking. I have grown tremendously over the last year. My whole approach to research has improved tremendously, and it's because of the support and the mentorship that is provided there. So take advantage of the associations that are there. Take advantage of your lecturers, because many of them are in that group with us, and they will share. When one of the lecturers from the School of Education did the presentation on quantitative research, there was massive appeal for it. And she broke it down for us so that we could all understand. And so we want you to get that opportunity as you join the graduate group. And so this is open. So while the association comes out of the School of Education, it's open to all members of the faculty. And so we welcome your coming here. It can only make you grow, can only make you better. And so as I welcome you to the faculty, I invite you to join us. Join your support groups. They're there, and in the end, you can be looking at increased knowledge, greater exposure into research, and developing your professionalism. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and enjoy your sojourn here.
Thank you so much, Tamara. As Blair Santos comes, she is actually an undergraduate student in the Department of Literatures and English, but I know that perhaps next year, the year after, she will be here, right? Next year. I like that.
Good evening, everyone. The poem that I will be reading tonight is called The Last Solkin. A solkin is a Mayan calendar that records cycles of days. We see mountains like blue lightning, like the castillos of Caracol and Cajalpech, painted in red Ricardo, in the blue of a cloudless sky, in the green of undisturbed mounds, in the black scar of fires we didn't start, encroaching upon the heels of a plant yet to be named in Latin, surrounding falling mame, their orange building a gradient into the brown of the brittle forest floor like the surface of Cotobrut. We see all this buried under the sea, reduced to a feeding ground for an invasive species of common carp that's already eaten a yellow mountain of corn that Masa, Itzamna, and Kukulkan sculpted into the keepers of days. Now feasting upon the black mountain as if gulping chimole without appreciating the taste. The big fish sprouts appendages and horns like a Spanish bull. Its belly swells and the sea rises, swallowing red volcanoes and their new keys. And soon the last mountain will be swallowed, gasping at clouds. It's going black like rotten bananas or coal, burning with fear because we see a star-spangled stingray flying, circling, that will soon skewer the last of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blair. All right, so we have come to the end of this segment of the program. Before we transition into your academic advisement sessions, allow me just a minute or two to express thanks. So firstly, I hope that you have been informed, encouraged, inspired as you get ready to begin your various programs of study. I want to thank Dean Professor Kauenberg, Professor Roy, the team from the Office of Graduate Studies and Research, the heads of departments and directors, and those who shared with you such critical information from the UWI Health Services, the library, the bursary, and the registry information systems. Thanks to student representatives from MAPS, from Agri, and let me also say that there is an MPhil PhD task force in existence within the faculty that will support MPhil and PhD students. And of course, the students who shared as well, Juliet Jackson, remember what she said, all will be well and never give up. And to Tamara McFarlane. And of course, Blair, who shared that poem. Thank you to the academic and administrative staff and graduate students who have been supporting the live chat, Tamara de Inez Anton, Ashina Williams, Karif Clark, and our postgraduate coordinator from the Department of History and Archaeology, and I know she'll forgive me. And an immense and special thank you to Ms. Katie Ann Hussey and Mr. Carlington Forrest from the faculty office, Peter Watson, the team from MITS, you have seen them here, and this could not have happened without them helping to support the live stream. And of course, thank you to you, all of our new graduate students in the faculty here in this room, those online, welcome again. I wish you success in your endeavors and trust that this will be a time of continued growth, engagement, and enjoyment. So the program now continues with your academic advisement sessions. You know the different rooms, you know the links, and okay, all right. She mouthed something to me and I'm not sure what she said, but I know it was something about Department of Library and Information Studies. So you have some of your HODs here who will help guide you. You have some of your postgraduate coordinators here who will help guide you, and wish you all the best. Thank you, everyone.